And then they said, get yourself a Steve Weiser. And then I had another beer. Then I had another beer. And then I had another J2O fruit blend. Not a sponsor. Just that's what I'll be enjoying drinking tonight. That was unplanned. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Steelchair. Once again, the bi-weekly Steelchair, and it's nothing to do with that pride flag. But it's because we weren't here last week because you were busy. But we're back. And
we are
better than ever, much like Eric Bischoff.
Not really. He's still a failure.
Right. Well, how you doing, Reece?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good.
Just completely threw you off for that.
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it once in a while. Ladies and
gentlemen, we've been talking about it for like 3 months, maybe longer.
I mean, it was my idea. I was just trying to find the right place to put it into fruition.
We've refined some kind of format. Now, we know what happens when you do unplanned streams with me. Sometimes, some would say there was a little bit of heat last time you did that. But
that's fine. That's
this
how it
time, I trust we're in good hands. And I trust that you're not going to ask me to name 10 TNA.
No, not like that. It's not like that at all. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roster Wars on the soon-to-be renamed Weekly Steelchair. Oh, the short debunk. Should put that out there. I'm not going to disclose that until 2025. So for now, this is still the Weekly Steelchair, but nothing's going to change. It's just a little evolution of the channel.
He's getting rid of me, folks. He's finally had enough.
No, nothing like that at all. I don't get rid of people. I'm just changing up things a little bit. So that's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is just keep your eyes peeled. You might enjoy this. But welcome to Roster Wars, and we're gonna make this the rules are very, very simple. So
I'm just thinking, why didn't you do the thumbnail like Star Wars, but Raw Star Wars?
I was going to, but I love Star Wars, and I don't want to get the clowns at Disney coming after me, and then I have to educate them on how shit the country is.
There'd be a way to do it. Anyway.
I know, but I'd have to really start a fight with Disney, and I don't want to win something.
That's true. I mean, if you did anything with like that font on it, that would be enough for them to go.
I would have to go and I'd have to fly over there and kill them myself. Roster Wars is very, very straightforward. Catherine, just remember that we won, you lost. Hold that. In the meantime, welcome to Roster Wars. So what is Roster Wars? It's plain and simple. It's just me versus Eilidh. Chat, you can get involved. It was based on a community post I put up several months ago just for a bit of fun. It was just out in my head because my head is filled with great ideas. But this one was probably the pinnacle.
And lots of modesty as well, of course.
Absolutely, but this was a great idea. And you can't deny, because you agreed with it, you thought it was a great idea.
It's a really good idea. It is.
So what we're going to do is, for the next 90 minutes to 2 hours, myself versus Eilidh are going to go head-to-head. You guys are going to officiate, unbiased, and we're going to pick a roster 5 from the 80s, 5 from the 90s, 5 from the 2000s, 5 from the 2010s, and 5 current. These are for men. This must include singles and tag teams. We cannot just pick singles and merge them together. This is not fraudulent. This is not
right. So when you pick a tag team, they're a tag team. Like
absolutely,
you get those 2 people, but your tag team is only 1 pick.
Yep.
That's changed a few things. Right. Good.
It's pretty much similar to what it was originally, but it's what you've got. You can't just go and pick. Oh, I'm going to pick the motorcycle machine guns, but I'm going to list them as a singles. No, like they've got to be. If you're picking them, it's picking them. Yeah, Nathan, unbiased. If you think Eilidh wins tonight,
Nathan, you're here to call it out. You're here to call it out. I love it.
If Eilidh wins tonight, Eilidh wins tonight. If I win tonight, I win tonight. If it's a draw, it's a draw. The women, on the other hand,
but I will be retaining because not a tag match.
Soon it'll be the big gold, but all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna own this. One thing that is an absolute certainty, we are picking 10 women. Now it's not pure sexism. It's just purely men draw a bet more than women in pro wrestling. It's a
It's
simple
tough.
fact.
Like, imagine having to do your 10 favorite women of like the 90s, and you have to go into the Attitude Era and go, well, I guess.
So it's just 10 from any era. It's just 10 from any era. That's how it's going to be. And we cannot pick the same person. You cannot pick Nathan, we already know you're biased because you're stupid. It's alright, mate. I'm only kidding, bro. One thing that we can't do, for example, is say, for example, I pick, and I'm not going to, if I picked Hulk Hogan, for example, from the 80s, Ailey's banned from picking Hollywood Hogan because it's the same fucking person.
It's going to shut you out from that for like the whole time.
Exactly. It's because you can put, if I was to say Hulk Hogan for the 80s, I can't even choose Hollywood Hogan from the 90s, which is his better version anyway, because he was much better as a heel. But it limits that. So, for example, you can't pick. Say, for example, I was to pick Goldust. I can't pick Dustin Rhodes at any point in the rest of his career. It's the same sort of format as Ale. You can't do that. You can't pick Masked Kane and then all of a sudden you say you want to have Unmasked Kane. If you pick a version of Mick Foley.
Yeah, no, it's got to be 25 independent like people or 25 independent picks. You could have more than 25 people, but it's got to be
have at least more than that.
Picks for sure.
Yeah, and you cannot and then you can't obviously differentiate a gimmick to a gimmick. If you pick,
and you can't pick
Bray Wyatt, you can't
because if you pick the NWO, you'd have like 40.
You can pick the original faction if you want, which was just the three of them, Nash, Hall, and
right.
Hogan.
So you can pick 3.
Yes, you can pick the 3. Same with DX, for example, as well, the 90s one. You could do the same. It all depends on what you want to do.
Right, we'll put a max of 3 on it, though. So, hardlines if you want the Spirit Squad.
That's all right. Nobody's picking the Spirit Squad anyway.
Yeah, or the Nexus. Like, no, we'll narrow
sorry,
it
if Cena already destroyed the Nexus, they'd already ruled out of any choice regardless.
3-man teams, I'm cool
But that's the plan. Yeah. But that is the plan.
Right. Nice.
So it's going to be something like that. So,
well, I guess the only disclaimer, and to be fair, you're all regulars, you all know, I don't have a fucking clue until I'm born. So my 80s and 90s may be quite funny.
That's absolutely fine because some matches are going to be bizarre as well. And remember, it's for each choice, it's not company specific. It can be anybody. That's
it ABBA? Or are we doing like ABAB but swapping every time?
We're just going to go... Actually, this is what we'll do. I quite like spin the wheel.
Because you'll have to spin the wheel for who goes first each time. Otherwise, like one person's just going to have advantage the whole time. I mean, to be fair, the wheel spin could give someone advantage every time. But I like to think I could weasel my way around this. I could do it.
That's why I'm just going to pick... Whoever just picks it this time is just going to go first, regardless. So when it wants to load, is the plan. And there we go. And it's the hilarity that it's just going to be 50-50. Come on, behave.
Mm-hmm. What shouldn't be 50-50, of course, people, if you're watching, is your status on subscribing to the weekly Steelchair. Make sure that you do that. And
absolutely.
You know, if you're here for one person more than the other, I'm on TikTok, Princess Ales, easy to find. If you fancy checking it out, it's not wrestling content for the most part. But you know, I'm doing that every day. And yeah, let's see.
The weekly Steelchair's Absolutely. The weekly Steelchair is also on TikTok. We have passed 90 followers already, so please do keep an eye out on that as well. For some bizarre reason, there's a Rey Mysterio edit that's nearly at 30,000 views. Fuck knows how, but it's still climbing, which is hilarious.
He's the GMOAT.
Well, the midget goat. I'm only kidding. Right, here we go. Who is going to get the first overall pick? And it's starting with the men.
In the WWF draft.
I'll take
Everyone,
it.
let's get rigged in the chat. No, let's see what you've got.
Well, I'm gonna go on the bat, and I'm just gonna say flat because it is the 80s. My first
Mhm.
pick is Macho Man Randy Savage,
Okay, yeah, fair.
because I actually respect the best talent from the 80s, not the fucking fraud who tanned
Can't
himself
really
up on
argue with
steroids.
it. My first pick's Hulk Hogan
Yeah, I thought
because
so.
without Hulk Hogan, wrestling dies. So
Wrestling was already dead anyway when he got involved, but
yeah, but
different level.
like
It's a great choice.
he took it to the next level. I don't know if you get WrestleMania. I don't know if you get anything to the scale that it's at right now without Hulk Hogan. So personality
choice.
aside, he is a staple of the industry for a reason. And he was a
Absolutely.
staple of the industry for a reason. And there's a reason that Vince was always relying on him in the 80s. Why it kept going
There's
back to
one
him.
other.
Kept going back to him.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's
one
just
other name.
no
Yeah,
brainer.
no, that's very true. It's a good point. There's a one other name as well that he did rely on. He's my second pick, and that's Andre the Giant.
Fair. And now that I've said Hulk Hogan, I'm officially out of my remembered knowledge for this. I did type names down. I don't know if I have 5
You're fine to give it a
different.
bash.
But we'll see what we have here. So yeah, next one that I'll take is I'm gonna rob one from you potentially, but I think I've got more chance of getting this if I go now. So I'm gonna say Jushin Liger.
You fucking bitch.
I'm gonna say Jushin Liger and take him right now. Obviously I want him at the peak of his powers, 80s, 90s, but taking him in the 80s isn't too bad at all. Sort of his real emergence on the scene and everything like that. So pick 2. You can give it Jushin Liger. That's great.
I can't believe you fucking done that.
It's again, we talk about no brainers. It's probably my most cultured pick on the whole list.
I'm absolutely personally fucking offended. That was an attack. All right then, fine. I'm gonna go for Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Fair
Another
enough.
top draw of the 80s that Hulk Hogan couldn't beat.
Yep, not a man that I have on my list of sort of shortlisted talent. Next one you can give me is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
He was ironically my next pick, to be fair.
I'm in your head. I'm completely in your head. I've got the franchise Hulk Hogan, and now I'm just
babyface
the
of all
guys
time.
ahead of you.
You've picked the greatest babyface. You've picked, in my opinion, the greatest mass wrestler of all time, because Rey Mysterio doesn't come close to Jushin Liger in any shape or form.
Okay.
In any metric.
In
any metric, no one comes close to Liger. He is the greatest. Okay, so we're now in our 4th picks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've picked WWE's biggest draw. It's ironic. I'm going to go for the strongest draw from outside of WWE who was on the territory base. I'm going to go for Ric Flair.
Fair, yeah.
Because it makes sense. The 2 biggest draws of the 80s, like from as a world champion, was Flair and Hogan. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. One of us is going to have one of each. So who's your 4th pick?
You know a match that they didn't really do in WWF?
Uh-huh.
You know a match that they really probably should have done? A match that WCW then went and did? A man who's got the name that is the equivalent to what a bee would do if it landed on you. Give me Sting.
Why are you doing this?
Because I've got an undercut. Think about it. I've got IC title in WWF in the 80s.
Did you literally
Steamboat and Liger, and then my main event is Hogan Sting. That's get on my level.
I really hate that.
I am in your head.
Are you sure about that? All right then. Well, I'm going to throw this one on you then. My 5th pick from the 80s, just to completely spanner you.
Go on then.
Shawn Michaels.
No. I don't think I have him down at all.
I'm surprised. Actually. I am very surprised.
I do for the 90s, but it's fine. He's low down. I can draft someone.
Main
else
event
in.
scene from the 90s, obviously, he's at his strongest.
And then I'm torn. I'm torn between something I never watched. That means Reece can't. Yeah, Nathan, you've gathered the game. You've gathered the game very nicely.
That is what it is. Yeah, it is pure daylight robbery.
I get 90s Sting, I get Impact Sting, TNA Sting, and I even get fucking AEW Sting if I want it. It's perfect.
You failed to mention Triple H burying Sting, because obviously
Yeah,
Sting was
I can
better
get
than him.
WWE Sting of the 2010s as well. I've got all that. If I want him to job, I just say you're 2010 Sting now. There you go. If I want him to no sell tables, you're 2022 Sting now. On you go. 2024. Fuck. Was that only this year?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck, you only retired this year. That's time is slow. Hi there.
What's up, sister? How was New York?
I'm just making Race really angry, so this is a stream you want to watch.
Angry, huh?
We'll recap the 80s. First time, so as I say, I'm torn. I'm torn between picking something I never watched and someone who I definitely did see some of and know that he was huge and know that if I get him, I've got a triple threat that would be,
I'm guessing
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
It wouldn't surprise me if you name my grand's all-time favorite wrestler as your next pick. Because of the 80s, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, I mean, so I am between, purely for the meme, picking Midnight Express for Cornette.
To be fair, I don't rate the Midnight Express. I think they were under. I think they were a shit tag team.
Like they talk like. Obviously, Cornette, and the way that he talks about them is like, the sun shines out their arseholes. I've never watched it. I don't know.
Their matches were actually decent. The problem is Cornette did far more talking during that era than he should. So it kind of took away their ability to be a top tag team, even though they were actually good.
And then another tag team I know from that time, and one that I do remember liking, because you could unlock them on one of the early games, or I think they even started unlocked on like one of the DS games, is Road Warriors. But A, I don't know when they were actually good, and B, I've heard that the Road Warriors were not. Yeah, the Road Warriors were not particularly great workers. So I'm going to leave tag teams for now.
They were actually good. They were actually the tag team done business. The problem is, though, is the tag teams they were up against, they were constantly made turn heel by Dusty Rhodes, because Dusty Rhodes always wanted to be the top in the territory, even though Dusty Rhodes at that time was fucking finished. He just kept turning Road Warriors heel when nobody wanted the Road Warriors heel. They turned heel on Sting because of Dusty Rhodes' stupidity as a booker. Typical from a Rhodes man.
Give me is one of the worst commentators I've heard. Also, one of the best commentators I've heard, but you could give me Jerry the King Lawler.
Great shout. He was phenomenal in the 80s. He was you're not going to believe this, he was a 29-time world champion.
Yeah, but this is when titles were fought for like every day.
It's still a fact, though. He is a 29-time world champion.
Yeah, you can't take away from it, but this is why the numbers are sort of reset for modern era.
Absolutely. So is that your fourth pick of the 80s?
Was that not 5?
So let's hear it. You stole Sting.
Hogan, Liger, Steamboat, Sting, Lawler.
Yep, and I've got Piper, Flair.
He's forgotten. It was so good, he's forgotten, gang.
I'm actually annoyed that your pick. That's how
you took Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, yeah, because I wanted to deny you DX Michaels, and that's pretty much what I was going to stick him in for.
Okay. I really don't.
Let's see, Piper.
Andre, you took Andre the Giant.
Andre, yeah. So that's my 5.
Yeah.
Andre.
What a workhorse division you've got.
Actually, if you look at what I've done from the 80s, I've basically Macho Man was my
Flair, Piper, Andre, Savage, HBK.
Yeah. So my first pick from the 90s is obviously the best world champion from the 90s, and that's Bret Hart.
Okay, well, high budget graphic, man. Are you gonna get it up?
For what?
Because you could put our picks on the screen. That way people could see, and they don't have to remember.
Actually, yes, I will see if I can get something for that. Actually, 2 seconds.
Yeah, just
let me see if I can
find a way to like put an overlay up and type it.
Probably
don't want to do that.
No, the guy. No, wrong
Probably don't
period.
want to do that.
To be fair, he was on my mind though. I'm not gonna lie. He was on my mind. So my first pick, obviously from the 90s, is by far Bret Hart. That was
That's
inevitable. I'm not
that's
fucking
not gonna
losing
hurt
Bret
me.
Hart.
That's
Well,
not
it
gonna hurt me.
kinda is if you're looking for a draw from that period of time. Somebody who's actually
No,
really
because
good.
I want the Undertaker.
That's fine because in the 90s he was fucking useless. So I'll take Steve
But-
Austin.
But what do I
Does
do?
make any difference? He was never a draw. I mean, he was a great
Taker.
talent. He was a draw later in his career, but that was when he
Undertaker
was
was
getting
never
proven.
a draw.
Not the greatest draw, no, but he was still a
No,
part.
but
of
he
the
was a
period of time.
draw. You don't need to be the number one draw to be a draw.
He was there though. I'm not denying him. He was there. But he wasn't the biggest of draw. Still a great choice. I will never deny Taker at all. I think Taker's a phenomenal
Yeah.
pick.
My second pick's The Rock.
Thought so. I had to sacrifice greatness for
You've
the
picked
biggest
the
draw
wrong
of the
one.
90s. No,
You've
I
picked
picked
the
the
wrong
biggest
one.
draw of the 90s. No, I
You-
picked the biggest draw of the 90s.
And anyone could have shaved his head and drank beer. I did half of it at the start. Okay, we can't
Not
qualify
really.
this with beer, but
Not really.
look, once
You know
again,
deep down
everyone,
it's
if you want to know
fact.
what Stone Cold was so good at, what?
You know deep down that's not true.
What?
You're a Roman Reigns fan. Even you know for
Give
a
me a
fact it was
hell
Steve
what?
Austin that led the Attitude Era. It
Give
was
me a
Steve-
what?
Steve Austin led the
Yeah.
Attitude Era. So let me just get these.
He's a poor man's LA Knight.
No, shut. No, behave. Behave.
I mean that.
Even you know that's mental.
I mean that.
Okay, Piper, Savage on. This is why some of the takes I can't take seriously, because that is a take I cannot take seriously. I just
Why
can't.
not?
Because I just can't. That's just madness. Especially after you stole Sting. After you stole Sting, I just cannot. I was willing to concede Liger until you stole Sting from me, and then after that, it was all hell and war. Simple as.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Like I say, at this point, I'm picking it. Here we go. Steve Austin.
Exactly.
Rushmore territory,
So's
just
Bret
saying.
Hart. So's Bret Hart.
Yeah, Mount Rushmores are personal for a reason. I've never liked anything that Stone Cold has done.
He does have some of the best work you could get, but it really does depend. I mean, that is purely subjective.
Yeah.
Let me just check. So,
Subjectively, I thought his character was ass.
to be fair, if it wasn't for his character work, WWE would have died in the 90s.
No,
Just
because
saying.
WCW would have killed itself anyway. There would
Not
have to
if-
have been something.
Not if Vince didn't have the money thanks to Steve Austin, though.
No, because
Vince
WCW was
had
still
nothing.
poorly run. I don't think there was any saving it.
The difference is at that point, they had more money than Vince. They were lucky the difference is Vince was patient. If Vince
It
wasn't,
doesn't
would've
matter
been
that they
gone.
had more money.
It does matter,
They
though.
spent it uselessly.
Well, and some talent, yeah, 100%.
On a
But
lot
the
of it,
difference
on
is
the
it's
booking,
strength.
like, you can have all the. Isn't AEW just proof that you can have all the money in the world, and if you're booking shit, no
It
one's watching?
depends. It depends because when you look at what they also had in the 90s as well, they were drawing crowds that were insane. Like you will never see, and I'm saying this now, and nobody's going to argue this because they will be wrong. You will never see any wrestling company in 2024 and beyond, because we've still got 2024 left. You will never see a wrestling company draw what they did either in the late 80s or the 90s. You will never see a company draw either 30 million on TV. You'll never see a company draw more than 6 million on TV again. The most you'll get is 2.5.
But that's things that's just
that's true.
we've argued this before. It's just the method of watching that's changed. It's nothing to do with the quality of the product. If all you could do was watch on TV, then wrestling fans would be watching on TV. But generally, TV's dying, and it's dying for streaming services.
Oh yeah, TV is
So
dying.
obviously, fewer people are watching on TV.
But it is just the common nature of how it was. Just remind me, who was so you've got Hogan, Juice, and Sting. Who was your other two from the 80s, sorry? I'm just putting them on. I'm
Steamboat
putting them
and
on a
Lawler.
spreadsheet. Steamboat and Lawler. How could I fucking forget Steamboat?
Yeah, I don't
Still
know
the
how
great-
Steamboat wasn't higher up because once you said Savage,
He
I
was.
thought, okay, well,
He was the
Steamboat's
great.
number two.
I was go. My plan was literally. Jushin was in my 90s list, but Steamboat and Savage was mine because that was my 80s main event scene.
Yeah, I can use my sort of detachment from the earlier years to basically, like I can use it to bully you. But that's
Not really, because you don't.
And so
not
far
really,
in the
'cause you
'90s, I've got Taker and The Rock, which I will take. 100%.
But you don't know. But you don't know what else I have stored in my head. So you're fine.
That's okay. That's okay.
So let's
There's
see.
no-
Pipe. So I
There's
had
no dramas.
Savage, Andre, HBK, Piper. Who the fuck else did I name?
How can you keep forgetting this?
Because I've got ruined.
Savage, Piper, Andre, HBK, and Flair.
Yeah, fucking Flair.
Everyone, he's on a wrestling podcast, and he forgot the man who's been WWE champion, WWE
You know why
champion,
I forgot? It's because you ruined
the
my
most
choices.
times in history.
You ruined my championship choices. That's why. It's your
He's got
fault.
one of the-
It's your fault.
Right.
It's absolutely your fault.
Everyone,
No, he's not on any of my picks, but he
good
will
shout,
be
you
obviously.
Chico. I might have to come back to that, Catherine. If
He is
I don't
forever
mind
resting in
remaining.
peace.
Do you not write this shit down? Mine
No,
are
I'm
written.
coming-
Mine are on my phone. I
I'm
remember
coming-
them pretty well, or I just glance at it and go, "Oh yeah, I was going for him."
I just come in blind. Right, obviously. So
Right.
now I got to
Who's your
start
third
fighting
pick?
back.
Yeah. See, so I had a feeling you were going to do that because I genuinely thought about just taking him in the '90s and completely scuppering your plans. But I'm not that cruel.
I'm not
Now
letting
I've got to
anyone ruin
weigh
one
up.
of my picks.
I've got to weigh up who it is that I actually want. Because there's a couple of names down here where I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool to have. That'd be really cool to have. I don't think you're going to say this one next, but I do think you could potentially say the other next. So I'm going to bump someone up. And before you break my heart, give me Rey Mysterio.
I'm already telling you for a fact, Rey Mysterio is not on my picks at all.
Well, that's fine. Again, just because Sting isn't on my picks, I did it to fuck with you.
I didn't include Rey Mysterio because I don't need that midget. Don't need him.
You are horrible. You know that?
I'm good without, so I'm going to put
You're
this one in
horrible
as well.
and you're being judged for that.
No, I'm not, because I'm going to put this guy in next.
What?
He started in the late 90s.
In the 90s? Yeah, but they've got to be good, surely.
I've already said.
It just sounds like an indie fucking
He went to WCW.
blue trunks fucking jobbing to Albert at this point. Like, what the fuck are you trying to do with a 90s AJ Styles who's like fucking 18 years old and fucking,
Just
as my
remember-
mum
it's
would
like
say,
what-
12
just remember-
5'8".
Just remember
fucking-
just remember your own logic. You're forgetting your own logic.
Yeah, but I'm at least taking them when they're still good. Rey Mysterio was still good in the 90s.
Depends on who you're up against.
He was good. Because I'm going to take his best opponent right now. Give me Eddie Guerrero.
See, clever, because you forgot his other great opponent, but I'll let you have that one.
Eddie Guerrero is the one that comes to me. I mean, the first time I saw that backflip DDT, I was like, what the fuck did you just do? Yeah, it's
I'm just
unbelievable.
kidding. Yep, see, he's not in my head, trust me.
He had to pick him early. Exactly, Nathan. That's the thing. He has to pick
You're not in my
Jobber AJ.
You're not in my head at all.
Jobber AJ, man. Fuck.
If you were in my head, I would absolutely admit it, but you're not. I'm already fine. So my next one is the worst wrestler I've ever seen.
Fair.
Because he is nothing without anyone else above him. He's nothing.
Okay. That Scupper song. So this is weird because this is like a free pick now, and I could go for anything. but I also want to make sure that they're good. And I don't know
Fair.
if they are. Yeah, Kurt Angle's already been. No, he's already done it. I was gonna do it, but no.
I'm
we
not.
won't do it.
I'm perfectly fine with who I've got in my
And the
picks.
thing is, you can now have DX if you want to.
I'm alright.
But you know.
True, but I'm alright.
See, so I don't. You may have to fill me in on something here because
No.
I love these 2/3 guys. I just don't know if they were. I don't know what they were doing at this point.
All right.
I imagine it's ECW.
Go on.
Dudleys.
They were in ECW being absolute weirdos because that's what Bubba is, a weirdo.
He is a weirdo, but it gives me the good
tag
era
team choice.
Dudleys.
So you want
for that same reason, it's what Edge and Christian were doing. Now I'm fairly certain
they were in the Ministry of Darkness and the Brood. Remember,
right?
The greatest
So
theme song of all
so
time.
if I take the Brood, I also get a free Gangrel. I
If
get
you
Edge and
wish.
Christian and a free Gangrel.
It's up to you.
I think
also
bang for buck. Give me the Brood.
You want the Brood? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, just to let folks know, I have missed out Foley for that.
You've also missed out the New Age Outlaws. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's okay. Foley's the big one. Foley's the one that, as I say, I took Ray over Foley, and then I needed to get Eddie. He's still more sane than Ricochet. That's true. Someone needs to take Twitter off Ricochet.
I think a lot of pro wrestlers need to just stay away from social media.
Yeah, I mean, what? He's just joined a company and he's claiming ownership of the ideas.
Yep. Let's see. So now we're on here. So I'm gonna start.
Now it gets to the point where I know people.
Yep. 2000s is where it's gonna really, really interesting. So I'm gonna pick straight away. I'm gonna go with Ailey's favorite wrestler, Brock Lesnar.
Perfect. Give me John Cena.
You can have that piece of shit all you want. I'm fine with that.
Come on. What you got now? You got this thing now? Ah, clever. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Let me just see if I can just move that. There we go.
He's spreadsheeting, folks. He's spreadsheeting.
I use them a lot at work. Who have you got?
I mean, it feels like an injustice if Randy Orton is not number 2. So give me Randy Orton.
Very well. My next pick is these guys.
Yeah, fair. Didn't want them. Don't care. What you can perhaps. Oh, do I want to do that?
Technically, because of that, I get Lita as well. I get Lita as well because of the Hardy. She was with them in the 2000s.
Okay. Can I get Shinsuke Nakamura?
Fuck.
Yes, come on.
Get to fuck.
Come on.
That is ridiculous. I fucking hate pro wrestling.
Let's go. Good point, Nathan.
Who on earth is going to pick Big Show and Kane?
Oh, you did pick. You just didn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the roster. All right.
Of course you're not. You're not a wrestler. Of course you're not getting.
Give me. See, how long does a tag team have to be together for it to be a tag team? I'm guessing they have to be like established.
Yes, they need to be established.
So it has to be like a tag team with a name, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Because, like I say, so a plan crossed my mind. I was like, they were tag champs together. They were not they were not a tag team. So we're going to leave that in the past. Between two names here, as I seem to always be, they had a fantastic feud. I think for future reasons and who I would want down the road, even if he does disappear for 7 years or 9 years or however long it is, I'll take CM Punk.
Okay.
The man that I hated to hate. Yeah, about Reece has MCMG for the 2000s.
I'm gonna pick another one from that era that was a great tag team.
What
Beer
does that
money.
say? Sorry, right, okay. The quality on the zoom on the spreadsheet isn't great. Is there a way you can
I can try.
Can you invest in better graphics than the Bandido vignette on Dynamite? Perfect. Right. Gosh, that's a strong 4. Who's going to round it out though? So 2000s, probably a tag team. Probably.
I've named probably the 2 best tag teams from the 2000s as well.
Yeah, success thing. 2000s, we were really starting to get to that stage of like tag teams just weren't.
They weren't appreciated in WWE at that point, which
We'd
is weird.
turned
The
tag teams into story fodder at this point.
the last good tag team from WWE, in my opinion, from that entire decade, was in the mid to late 2000s, and that was probably London and Kendrick, in my opinion.
I think.
But they were incredible.
As
I don't
weird
think
as
WWE
it
had any other good tag teams.
be
I don't think they had any good tag teams.
to spice things up. Or hang on, fuck! You haven't. Wait, you didn't even shut me out. But oh no, it's fine. I've done it. It's cool.
Of course I
Don't
did.
worry.
Of course
No,
I did.
I forgot that I've already got Edge and Christian. I've already because I locked down the Brood.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You do.
the guy's got a good shout there. But I was gonna go a different way with the assignment. Because I think I also get their Ring of Honor stuff. If
Yes.
they were there. What was greatest tag team?
Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Hmm.
Yep, they are eligible because they were also Team Angle.
Oh, why didn't you just take that?
Because I only wanted Kurt Angle.
Interesting.
Even though I like Charlie Haas, I only wanted Kurt.
You've not gathered the element of the budget deal, have you? Like like the sort of the bucket offer, the KFC bargain bucket.
There is no budgets on this right now. 2010s is going to be fun. So 2010s.
Go for it.
Purely because of one promotion where he really was excellent.
Go on then. Hey everyone, he's fucked it. Give him the shield.
You can have them. I don't care about the shield.
Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns. One pick. Bang.
You can have them. I don't care.
Sorted.
Honestly, you can have them. I don't care. Because one should never have been in pro wrestling in general. The other is good in Ring of Honor, and the other's a lunatic.
Lunatic fringe, perhaps.
Perhaps. I'm going to go another one who I actually do like from that period of time.
Okay.
And it actually fits the mid-card scene quite strongly.
And I swear it's not just tag teams on this, but it seemed to be mainly tag teams that I like that then give me the singles people as well. Mm-hmm. I do really want him, but I don't think you're going to go for him yet. So is there an actual single star I want to make sure that I lock in? I say I've drafted this. I've drafted it. So I'm just going to go DIY.
You can have DIY. I'm alright with that.
Yeah, 2 of my favourite in-ring guys from that. Well, I mean, they're still 2 of my favourites now. Yeah, Kevin Owens, good stuff. Good stuff. See, he's not under threat at all. You wouldn't.
Abel's saying New Day.
Mm,
Interesting.
I will have. See, he wasn't particularly good, but he was also very good at the same time. I think he was very good and he just wasn't used well. And he is one of my favourites ever. So I will go Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm. Good shout. He was actually on my next choice. I was thinking about it. It's a good shout. So we have 2 left of the 2010s.
Yeah, we're racing through this. We might have time to discuss the actual wrestling too.
Oh, we're going to. Oh, but we are absolutely going to. Let's see. My next pick. Interesting. I need to pick some tag teams now.
He's on the ropes, people.
Actually, I'm not. I'm just trying to think, because the 2010s was an odd era for tag teams.
Oh, good shout. Good shouts. Good shouts in the chat.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Because he actually was over heavy in that era.
Okay, sure. You get the
deny that.
Okay. Drew Adolfo, great. That was a great tag team, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I've got options that have been mentioned in the chat, and I've got an option that has not. I'm avoiding.
I think the chat's made some great suggestions. I'm just basing off my own. The chat, keep making your suggestions. If there's some that might appear, I might consider them. But I'd rather shoot myself than choose the Usos.
See, this comes another thing where, like, you know,
they're not a draw.
You can take one guy, or you can take one amazing guy. Catherine, absolutely not. You can take one amazing worker.
The 2010s, technically you could, but after that, no.
You can take one amazing worker and get 2 people that tagged alongside him and factioned up. Because obviously you want Walter / Gunther at this point.
Do you?
Well, across the 2010s, yeah, you absolutely do. Because before he even went to WWE, he was running Progress. He was the Atlas champion for however long. And then you get the NXT UK title stuff, as well as...
That's all they gave him for. That's all they gave him it for. That was it. He just holds titles, isn't doing
anything else. Was so dominant, though, and the matches he had were brilliant.
Some were fun, to be fair. Some were fun.
And then, therefore, I could just take Imperium.
You can if you wish.
Gives me the World Heavyweight Champion, Walter, and a good tag team in Vinci and Kaiser.
So you want them?
Give me Imperium.
Okay.
Now, Bill's mentioning someone that, well, you know.
He has. See, I'm keeping everything in my head close to my chest.
Okay. Code 4, you've run out of ideas, but it's all good.
The day I run out of ideas is the day I die. And I've not run out of any yet. I might pick one just to spite you.
Go on then. Go on then. He did it! He did it! He actually did it! He actually did it!
Yep, I picked one to
spite you. Cody! He took Cody.
I believe in spiteful choices as well.
Oh my God! He took Cody.
It's alright, I've got the role for him. Hold on, I'm going to put it right beside his name. 'Cause just for every Cody fan watching this, by the way, this is his role.
He took Cody.
He's going to be a jobber to everybody I've mentioned. He's just going to get pinned every single fucking week.
Reece, you want to know someone you've like missed entirely?
No, I haven't.
Completely missed.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Go back up to your 2000s in case I missed something.
Sure.
Okay. I'm concerned about this.
I'm happy with my choices.
Would you mind going up to your 90s just so I can absolutely make sure of this?
I'm happy with my picks.
Give me Hiroshi Tanahashi right now.
You can have Tanahashi.
Go ace.
I'm fine with that.
I have John Cena and Japanese equivalent of John Cena.
Whoa.
Those two can just fight forever.
No. Don't insult Tanahashi like that. Do not insult Tanahashi like that.
It's not an insult to say that he was on the level of the franchise, babe.
Tanahashi is a great Tanahashi is a greater pro wrestler than Cena ever was. Ever. No level. That is just pure criminal. I will let you have Tanahashi. I will actually concede that you can have two of my favorite Japanese wrestlers. I'm alright with that.
I've got Liger and Tanahashi. And Sting.
Look,
I'm just taking your favorites.
yeah, that's...
So here's the thing, Nathan. He was definitely on the shortlist, but I realised Tanahashi was left out.
Tanahashi had to be left out, unfortunately. I'm prepared to make sacrifices.
Technically still an option for Bray, but you'd really be getting... It's like COVID Bray, Fiend Bray. I don't think it's going to happen. He might get in yet, people. He might get in.
I had to make unfortunate sacrifices for my choices. That's just how life is. Life is shocking.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Go on then.
What? No professional wrestling fan will ever pick Jack Swagger.
Hit us with it.
The worst thing is, this current era of pro wrestling, there's barely any good wrestlers.
Well, you have AEW to play with that. You don't want Mountain Dew pitch black Bray.
It's not just that. It's just every promotion in general. There aren't many good wrestlers in general.
Yeah. But yeah, Nathan, I'm with you. No Bray is criminal, but Tanahashi is a better worker than Bray Wyatt.
I had to. I'm annoyed that
I'm
annoyed
respect
the way I had
the
to
guy.
him out.
All respect to Bray Wyatt. I love him.
Oh yeah, unfortunately I had to leave him out, but
yeah,
it's just annoying for me. But I had to.
Remember when you're considering like all promotions and stuff, it was tough because honestly, the whole time throughout that, I was thinking about taking the Wyatt family.
I know.
But I just, they don't fit. It's thinking about it being like a roster that's actually going to be together. There's more that you can do, Tanahashi.
No,
He's taking Josh Alexander, who's not even good enough to be on a mainstay promotion. So we'll continue on in that light. Now, of course, a lot of the people who are good now have already been picked. Do we leave out Tyson Fury?
Why would anyone pick that bald fraud?
Okay. I fucking hate him, but give me Will Ospreay.
You can have Will Ospreay.
I fucking hate him, but if I get, good matches out of it, then sure, we'll have Will Ospreay. Yeah, I'm good with that. Ilya Dragunov.
It's fine, he's useless anyway.
Easy. Thanks. Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming. You're going to give me Fraxion right now. I love these two guys. Fraxion, 100%.
They can't wrestle.
Yeah, they can. Are you kidding me? Fraxiom are incredible.
Who?
Nathan Fraser and Axiom. They're fantastic. What are you chatting? Ah, great. Sitting at home on Tony's couch.
One of them goes straight to man.
Sitting on their couch waiting on Tony's call. Yeah, give me ZSJ. 100%.
You can have ZSJ.
Great shout out, Bill. Thanks for that.
Last one.
Yeah, go for it. I've got a choice here and I've got a backup, so we're good. We're good.
See, I've got a few of my own.
It's amazing the names that have missed out for me, you know? It's amazing.
You'd be surprised at the names I've intentionally left out.
Yeah.
Like, I left out a lot for a reason.
Go on, Reece. Who's your final pick? Before we go on to the win. Got some good shouts from the chat. Are you gonna take one of them? Evan Bourne, good shout. Maybe not for this decade.
For the
Definitely
previous
not.
decade, absolutely.
Yeah. Get Air Boom with a bit of Kofi Kingston as well. Some more good shouts coming in, but
Yeah.
Reece, the stream won't move forward if you don't pick your final guy.
Because I'm debating between two. See, I was gonna pick Zack Sabre Jr. Ironically, but there's one other person I was debating with besides him, and another. Like, there's two names I'm just debating with right now, and I'm just thinking, which one do I choose? He's dead.
You don't
his
pick
career's
Zack Sabre Jr. because I've got him.
I know you've got him. I know you've got him, which I'm fine with.
Oh, Abel's giving you two very solid options there.
You know what? I am a huge fan of his. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of this guy, and there's not a chance I am not losing out on that one as well, because I am a huge fan of Naito.
Yeah, give me Drew McIntyre.
You can have Drew. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, give me Drew McIntyre.
I'm happy with that. Now,
yeah, I'm happy with it for sure. There's some picks that have just they weren't, and it's more in the 2010s. Like, they weren't in my plans, but building a roster and thinking back to what I enjoy of these people.
We've actually left out some. We've actually left out some great picks, annoyingly, from this decade, 90s. There's two of them in particular that stand out that we've left out.
I mean, Mick Foley's a huge mess.
Another one was Goldberg.
Mick Foley is massive.
Another one's Goldberg. Even though I absolutely
Goldberg was on my list, but it was just for his dominance. It wasn't for him being any good
from
to
this
watch.
era, from the 2000s, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, again, I went for Punk over him, and then needed a tag team.
And then this era as well, there's so many as well. There's another one we've not mentioned as well. I would say he's better in this decade than he was in the 2000s.
Better now than he was in the 2000s?
Yep. I mean, 2000s he was here or there. The 2010s he was a belt collector. In 2010s he's just a wrecking machine.
Lashley? No.
Yeah.
Lashley, right, okay.
Another one as well, regardless of how you think of him, like you say you hate this guy as well. Swerve Strickland.
Yeah. I'm so tempted to ask you to just take Will Ospreay out and put Bray Wyatt in, but don't do it.
See, the thing is though,
Just because Will Ospreay's a bellend, he's got such great matches, but
The funny thing is, I'm willing to offer one trade pick if you want from anyone on my roster, for anyone on your roster, and you can cut
your
one
roster's
pick of your own.
jobbing, I'm afraid. Like your roster's
Rubbish.
nowhere near. Your roster's nowhere near.
See, you say that, but you know it's a lie. He's already picked the
Well,
guy.
Rude's already
No
been
one's picking
taken.
us,
The guy because beer money's been taken in 2000s.
Yep.
So Bobby Roode's on Reese's show.
No, New Day isn't good. No New Day is a good thing because New Day were overrated.
Oh, because here's the thing, right? I think it was nip and tuck. So I think in the 80s, this is like my genuinely unbiased thought here. The 80s is close, but you know, because
The
like
80s
for
is decided by
Hogan,
these two.
you've got Flair. For Savage, I've got Sting and that sort of thing. It would really depend. I think it would be not so much an interesting War Games match because Hogan would refuse to lose. But you know,
Hogan did lose a. He didn't lose a. He actually did lose a War Games match. He has lost a War Games match.
In the 90s, I'm willing to accept that I was building for the future. I mean, even though you have a child, you have a literal child. What age
cleverness
is AJ Styles now?
AJ Styles right
50,
now
right?
AJ Styles is 47.
Okay, he's 47. So the latest point that you can get AJ Styles right now is 25 years younger. You're taking a 22-year-old AJ Styles.
Yeah. Preparing for the future.
It's just fucked in the head. Like
says the one who
it's
took
just
the
not
to
thinking straight. And then here, I think I have just completely bodied you.
I don't think you've bodied me. I think you've made.
Cena, Orton, Nakamura, and Punk. I don't think that fifth pick mattered. I think I could have taken Kenny from the Spirit Squad.
See, when you look at it though, for the first 4 or 5 years of the 2000s, when you look at it in terms of draw, Brock Lesnar's a bigger draw than all of them, and that's not a.
But Cena was more consistent and carries you right through the decade, pretty much. I mean, from his.
He does towards the end. He does from the end onwards. When Lesnar was like, "Man, I'm done. Bye." I'm like, I'm out. He just quit. There's actually one other name we've not mentioned here, which is mental. We've not mentioned another big champion from this decade, which is crazy. Well, actually, two of them.
Who do you mean?
We haven't mentioned this guy.
Okay.
We didn't mention Booker T, who is prolific anyway. You could say Scott Steiner if you wanted to, but nobody's really going to choose him. But none of us picked him.
No.
Even though he was huge in that era. You can't deny it, he was.
He was, but no.
Because even then, you're choosing Punk now. When you look at Punk, even like another great champion that period of time from the same organization for Punk before he moved to be Samoa Joe was another one. Again,
nah. Didn't capture my imagination any. I've got Edge.
Edge was picked technically. He was picked in the Brood.
Yeah.
So hang on. So you're saying I wasn't preparing for the future. Do you realistically know how old Edge was in the period when he started?
What I do know is that Edge has TLC 2 in 2001, which means I've got Edge in 1999. It's not like I'm preparing for AJ Styles to fucking main event the Tokyo Dome in 2008 by taking his fucking child prodigy in 1998. Like,
I'm preparing for it.
Like I said, it's kind of fucked. Like, you've taken a jobber. You've taken a jobber. And I don't mean that you've named Cody as a jobber. You have taken a jobber.
I've been smart. I'm saying this actually, to be fair, I'm going to remove that.
In the 90s, you drafted a jobber.
I'm saying this now, in the 2010s, this is even.
Like, actually, in the decade?
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it...
I don't know, news is very frail.
Not really. Kenny Omega ended from 2016
Instead
to
of Cody,
2020.
change it to Stardust.
No thanks. When you look at it, Daniel Bryan from 2010 to what, 2014, 2015,
Why
top
did you not
babyface.
want Okada here?
Why didn't I want Okada? Because you would have fucking stolen him from me.
No, he wasn't on my fucking list.
Then, so you can't explain he's not on your list when he was still as big in that period of time with Tanahashi
What
and
I'm
Omega.
saying is, you take Okada, sure, but again, he wasn't. It's not that he wasn't good in the 2000s, but he wasn't it. Whereas,
What he comes good.
I think, other than the Brood, if you look at everyone that I've taken, at least in-ring, from an in-ring standpoint, maybe not from their push, but from an in-ring standpoint, they were at the peak of their powers. Or they have been at the peak of their powers. So even if I get a 2017, 2018, 2019 Roman Reigns, get him before leukemia and after it, I'm still getting Roman Reigns. Like, he wasn't fucking... What was his indie name? I forgot what it was.
Washed up has been. I don't know.
Wait. No, he wasn't Tyler Rex.
No, that was... No, Tyler Rex was someone else, and we don't want to talk about him. We don't want to talk about him.
Did something happen?
When you look at it, he's just a creepy bastard. The thing is, though, is when you look at what we've named, and this is actually the funny thing about what we picked. From
something.
When you look at my 2010 picks to your 2010 picks, for example, all of mine are established. What? Yeah, on our screen. Yes, we have a great one on screen.
No, I think Tyler Rex is that girl, right?
Oh wait, no, yes, yeah, he is now, yeah. But there was something else before that.
So hang on, it was Gabe. I'm trying to remember this. Is it Gabe Tuft? And then people called her Gabby, but I thought she didn't go with Gabby, or does she? Does she go by Gabby?
Gabby, yeah.
She goes by Gabby.
Yeah.
Brave Queen.
But when you look at my 2010 picks to your 20, I think my 2010 picks is still stronger than yours.
I don't think so. I really don't.
When you look at it, Tanahashi and Finn Balor 100% are your two strongest picks from that decade. I'm not going to deny that. They are, because they were already killing it in Japan.
I've got the two men that carried NXT for 5 years.
But when you look at my picks as well, Kevin Owens was already well established in Ring of Honor when it comes to WWE. Dolph Ziggler was already, at that point as well in 2010s, he was already multiple-time IC and US title winner. He was Money in the Bank plus World Champion. Kenny Omega obviously won the G1 and the IWGP title in the 2010s. Daniel Bryan obviously was a 5-time world champion for WWE, plus Ring of Honor. And Cody Rhodes was a mainstay in the divisions already, and he was popular. DIY, they were hit and miss, but they were still delivering good matches.
Well, Ciampa got gold, eh?
Eventually.
Gargano won it back. That was 2019.
Yeah, when you look at my picks, they were already up to that period of time. They were still strong.
But this is what I'm saying. DIY were still that good. It's not like where you've taken AJ Styles and he wasn't that good yet. DIY were still at the peak of their in-ring powers.
When
you get the Shield, who are all still at the peak of their in-ring powers. Okay, Roman Reigns can't cut a promo worth a fuck yet. But
I could easily do this though. See where I've got AJ Styles? I could easily just flip him for the Hardys, but the Hardys in the 90s. They still had the same impact as the Brood in the late 90s. Their Raw tag team title win is still one of the most viewed Raw moments, which is mental when you look at it.
I get that. As I'm saying, the main one for me is that you've taken like child bride AJ Styles, basically. Like taken like.
There's preparing for the future, and there's preparing for the future, and that's what I've done. Happy to be. The hardest thing, though, right, when you look at it, is
how did you not see Fraxio? They're the greatest tag team of all time.
Because I've never watched them.
I will not be taking questions at this time. These two are the greatest tag team.
I've watched them. I just don't think they're that good. They don't have any element of enjoyment. There's nothing about them that's unique or new.
They're so good.
Not as good as the
match they had at Deadline was
against
excellent. Who? Catch Crew.
Who?
Miles Bourne and what's the other?
To be fair, I don't.
What's his name?
No idea. I don't watch.
It's the guy that got sent to Japan. Tavian Heights.
Is that Regal's boy?
Charlie Dempsey is Regal's boy. It's his crew. Charlie Dempsey sent Tavian Heights off to Japan on an expedition, and Tavian Heights came back, and he's actually just like a monster now. But Fraxium had a really good match with him.
Yeah.
Fraxium had a really good match as well at No Mercy.
I've only watched one match.
Who that was with, though.
I've only watched one match of theirs, and that was against the Good Brothers. That's the only match I've watched.
Fraxium are insane. They're fantastic.
I just don't see the appeal because there's so many tag teams that are so similar in style these days.
What do you think of John Morrison? I think he should have been world champion.
Well,
I mean, he was world champion in a lot of places. I just don't think he had the. I think he was too much of a gimmick. When he was at the peak of his powers in WWE, he was too much of a gimmick.
To be fair, he was a very
really
good worker.
Seen as a world champion, and it's not just because he'd teamed with Miz in that, because obviously Miz got to be champion. But I mean, it's everything that he did, and it was the slow motion entrance, and it was, to be honest, it could even be things as simple as he hit Starship Pain. It's a gimmicky move. There's a reason why Kofi Kingston wasn't getting his push, because Kofi Kingston used to hit the boom drop, and he still does, but it used to be his finisher. And when you're that gimmicky as a wrestler, you're not actually going to be world champion, because you've also got to be an element of good. I mean, unless you're Jinder Mahal and Vince McMahon woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Then
we all know what Vince
we're going to push the company in India. Let's give the WWE Championship to Jinder Mahal. But other than that,
if you're going to push the company in India, you just go for the Great Khali, who again,
Great Khali is another example of there were other motives to it. But if you look at most of the people, and certainly most of the people who usually get belts back, the gimmicky ones win it once, maybe twice, but it's the ones that are serious and have that sort of seriousness about them that last. Forgot Hurricane.
Guys, to be fair, there's a few other cruiserweights from that period of time that I was thinking about as well. The likes of Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, Billy Kidman. They were all great shouts from that period as well. But it really does depend. A lot of these picks as well, when you think about, obviously, some of these picks that Ailey's done on me deliberately are fucking sabotage. But some of them as well are genuinely smart picks. Regardless of what people think, right now she's picked the greatest babyface in pro wrestling, that's Ricky Steamboat.
Nathan, we were never going to take him.
I genuinely want to offer some bloody trades here, because I want to play these. I'm sick of not looking at these rosters and being betrayed by my own personal favourites. That's the worst thing. Some of them on my list are actually some of my favourites that I've disclosed, but some of them are just absolute. I just went for realism. Besides, I can't just always pick your favourites, but I've been brutally assaulted by some of these picks.
No, but the thing is, you say you can't always pick your favourites, but look at my 2010s.
Your 2010s literally picked one of my favourites. This bastard.
Importantly, other than Undisputed Era, who were 4 people and I couldn't have them.
You literally went for the jugular. You literally went for the jugular and picked my favourite leader of Chaos.
And once again, Nakamura, peak of his powers. That was the trend here, peak of his powers.
No, his peak was 2011. It was 2011 onwards. 2011 to 2017 is peak Nakamura. We are doing women.
First, I mean, I don't know. Reece, you apparently want to
just disclosing it, women.
Yeah. Okay. Are we jumping in with that now then?
It depends on what you're going for, because this is any era, so this is going to be very fun.
Well, believe it or not, I'll be going for people I fucking watched.
So will I. So will I.
You ain't getting no Medusa out of me.
Who is your first pick?
Oh, I just get to go first, though.
Well, I went first for the men.
All right, fair.
It's only fair. Who's your first pick?
I think pick number 1 has to be Asuka.
Okay.
I don't think it could not be Asuka.
Well, this is for all the lads because she was a draw.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. My main memory of Trish Stratus is playing the special referee mode on SmackDown vs Raw, and it would always be Trish versus Lita, and it always, as I say, I was like, we're talking like 6 or 7.
Technically, Lita's not in my picks, even though I get the Hardys, so Lita's not part of my 10.
You can like special referee, and you could be a man and you could just like batter them.
Beat the pick.
I was like, this is so weird.
I'm not going to disclose what I did on SmackDown vs Raw 2007 as a kid to most women, but let's just say Mickie James was very, very important. But anyway, carry on. Who you got?
We were children, and the special referee mode was fun, and it gave some options.
Exactly. Who's your second pick? I know one guaranteed. I know one of them in particular is going to be on your list.
Well, the thing is, right? If I don't pick her now, you're probably going to take her. So I'm going to go for the man, Becky Lynch.
You mean the worst women's professional wrestler of all time?
That's just not true. You actually
it's very true. She is crap. Okay.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, 100%, Nathan. 100%.
In that case, then.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Who you got next?
Every division needs a good heel, so we're going Charlotte.
Very fair. I'm going to go for my all-time favorite women's wrestler. And I have the privilege of watching her, so it's even better.
You need different flavors of things in wrestling. You need, technical wrestlers, and you need a powerhouse. So I'd like Jordynne Grace.
You can have Jordynne Grace, that's fine.
Oh, I was hoping that would be more annoying for you.
Not at all.
I should have went with her first. Drats. No, I don't want her. I just want to cause you pain.
Why is Jordynne Grace? Jordynne Grace won't cause me pain.
Quickly becoming one of my favorites of all time. Give me Pop Rocks, Roxanne Perez.
You can have Shorty.
She's fantastic. She
is a very good wrestler.
She's so good. I don't think you're gonna say that. I think I'm still safe. I haven't liked what she's done on AEW, but I don't like what anyone does on AEW.
The answer is no, I'm not picking her.
So I'm gonna go. Did I do it now? Yeah, okay. Toni Storm.
You've want a heel? Well, I'm going to take a heel as well.
Come on. The reason that half the Impact roster is getting a contracts cut, Tessa Blanchard.
Well, it's funny that because it came out today as well from reputable sources that it's nothing to do with that. So I like the fact that
and those sources heard it from Tessa Blanchard. I'm not the reason. You are. Anyway,
do you not see who made the source about the cuts that are coming through? And everyone's running at it. It was your favourite pal, Dave Meltzer.
Well,
wrong again.
He's fairly well. I mean, the cuts will still be happening.
Not a lot. There are some talents that are on the way out. But these are all guys or women, to be fair, that are not even going to be in the company in the next 3 weeks that are going. So they're like they're cutting it down. Frankly, I would do the exact
So-
same. If they're going out, then fucking dead to them. I don't care.
Hmm.
Good pick so far. Asuka,
Yeah,
Becky
so
Lynch,
I
Charlotte
think
Flair.
I think I'm still safe on what I want to do. So
2,
give me
4.
Bianca Belair.
You can have Bianca Belair. I'm fine with that. I don't particularly care.
And how many is that? That's 7.
7.
Cool.
This is another one. Good tag team, but they were really great in TNA's heyday. So I'm gonna go for the Beautiful People,
Okay.
and I get all 3. I get all 3 from the original faction.
Yeah,
Angelina
that's fine.
Love, Velvet Sky, and Madison Rain. Bailey, no.
See, it's annoying this now because I've taken one as a single, but like I would just take the other 2 as a tag team. Because I do want that. Do I? See, it's knowing which ones of that I actually want. Okay.
You've got 3
Okay.
left.
Here's the question though, right? If I say damage control, do I get the other 3 that aren't Asuka?
No, because you had. That would count as 4.
That's the thing. Asuka's a separate pick.
I don't think I.
I'm gonna
you
note
said
it. I'm gonna
maximum.
it. I'm gonna
said
take them
maximum 3.
separate. I'm gonna take one of them separate, and I absolutely need her. This is pick 8, right?
This is number 8. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll take Io Sky.
You can have Io Sky. That's fine.
Yeah, 100%. I thought you were putting Dalton Castle there for a moment. I was like, hey, I know he was flamboyant.
No, Dakota Kai is somebody that you know I do rave about, so I was going to have Dakota.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You got 2 left.
Yeah. And what I want to do, I still think I'm safe, but it's whether I just want to like lock it down before you work it out. I don't think you were even going to say them, but fuck it. Unholy Union, please.
I wasn't going to.
For one of my favorite wrestlers, Alba Fire, but as I know her, Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, good point.
She's brilliant. Love her. And Isla Dawn's good too. So, 2 for 1 there. Can you just clarify for the people who didn't watch Impact, who the fuck are the Beautiful People?
The Beautiful People is Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and Madison Rain.
Right. Okay.
Well, at their heyday, at the heyday of the faction, it hasn't happened since. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Nathan, some good shouts. Rosemary's actually a good shout, to be fair.
I prefer time.
But I'm going to pick a tag team.
Okay.
And you know this tag team.
Okay.
You like this tag team.
Okay.
But the question is, do I like this tag team? And the answer is no.
Probably not.
But it's good workers.
Okay. Oh, he's considering. He's reconsidering.
Do I put personal feelings aside? That's the question. That's the problem I have with life these days. Do I put personal
Nathan,
feelings
that's
aside?
That's a good shout. What I will say about Tiffy is personally not yet.
Yep, I agree with that.
But
yep, I'm gonna go
going
for
the right
it.
way. Okay. Oh, you're taking Indy as well?
A tag team. I did say I was taking a tag team.
Okay.
I still have one pick. I have one pick left.
Yeah.
So do you.
Well, my last pick's here to perhaps break your heart. She is the Women's United States Champion. It's Chelsea Green.
I was contemplating. Funny enough,
Come on.
Nathan has also mentioned Chelsea.
Oh, actually, do you want to just add Piper to that, please?
You can have Piper as well.
Yeah, free Piper Niven. She's incredible.
Free Piper Niven.
Guys, in the chat, if that didn't kill you with cringe, was that good? Was it bad?
It was
Was
not
it my
bad.
best?
It was not bad. I will say that. Fair play. Fair play. I am going to pick. See, you've got a very interesting powerhouse, right? In Jordan Grace. TNA powerhouse. I'm going to pick the other TNA powerhouse.
All right. Fine.
And to be fair, she ain't no Karma, but she was a fucking deadly pro wrestler.
7 out of 10 for effort.
Yeah, I think it was impressive.
I will take a 7. For
Now,
sure.
some of these picks genuinely are good. Now, obviously, we just want to disclose in here. I just have to note her underneath my pick, but she's not an official pick for me. I also, because of the Hardys, I do have Lita. So that is not an official pick for me. She's just part of the faction. But, all in all, I actually get another woman as well, but so do you. By default.
Do I?
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, I get 2 women by default.
Do I get Stephanie McMahon tied to a cross?
Actually, I take that back. I get 3 then, because she's mine as well.
All right.
But I get some good managers. So, for example, I get Miss Elizabeth for Macho Man. I get Stephanie McMahon, obviously, because she kind of keep her fucking clothes on around Triple H. And I also get Sensational Sherry.
All right.
All great managers because of Flair, Savage.
Okay.
You know what's weird as well? If I wanted to, I could have had Sable, but I don't want a wife pick. Madness. With Bull Nakano as well. Also had a female manager. I'm not going to bother. Don't worry. I've got elements to that. I'm glad none of us picked the Bellas. That's how much we love pro wrestling.
I'm not here to completely.
Yep, that's true. That is true. Actually, hold on. I have to put in your manager's name. I'm sorry, but I have to.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think I do get Vicky Guerrero. If I'm going to be like really, really tricky here, don't worry. I'm not actually.
These are all disclosed though. These are all correct. Not that it's
yeah.
You do
technically. If we're
actually
being.
Well, wait. I want to make one change. I want to make one change.
What?
I want to boot someone out.
Who you booting?
You can have this person. I'm being very kind here.
Who are you getting rid of?
I'm willing to give you Dakota Kai, and you can have the entire damage control.
But what have you done?
There's a particular woman that I fucking adore watching as a pro wrestler. So I'm gonna give you Dakota Kai because I'm very kind. You already stole Liger from me. You stole Liger from me, so I'm willing to give you Dakota Kai.
I did try to pick Dakota Kai in fairness. All right, okay, fair.
I'll take them because I'm taking Stephanie Liger. So I'm willing to give you Dakota Kai, even though I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai, and you know I'm a big fan, but I'm a bigger fan of Stephanie Liger. I was just hoping.
Yeah. So you're offering me the chance to remove somebody and put her in.
You also You also get, because of Roxanne Perez, you get Cora Jade by default.
Yeah. Woo! Wait, do I not also get Jade Cargill then?
Yeah. Do you name them?
She's attached. See,
well, she's on
so Martin, these are good shouts, right? As for Cora, obviously, like manager. Again, I didn't pick Roxanne for that reason. So,
I do get Julia, to be fair.
Yeah, but in terms of Julia, for some of these people, it's like I've not seen enough yet. It was kind of like Nathan bringing up Tiffy time as well. It's like not yet. I
think she's something, but not enough. Here's an interesting question, though. For your male managers, you get one. Who are you choosing? Now, I'm picking mine. I'm picking who I think, for me, is the greatest of all time. But it depends on what subjective. But for me, the greatest manager of all time is Bobby Heenan.
See, because I feel like what manager has had the most impact while I've been watching them is I know Paige was there, Nathan, but
she was busy spoiling title belts. She was busy spoiling title belts.
Yeah, but I mean, besides that,
we are criminals.
wasn't that good. See, yeah, Nathan,
Oh.
you're right. It's got to be Paul Heyman.
But the thing is, though, is I technically get Paul Heyman as well because of Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah, but you can't just pick everyone.
No, of course not. I'm surprised you didn't pick your
you-
favorite. I'm surprised. Without yeah, that's true. You also I'm picking Brother Love because
I can't have Mikel Arteta. Wrong sport.
No, Brother Love was the Taker's first manager. But good shout though. I like the swerve on you. Fair play.
Or
Paul
Bearer.
Bearer.
No, it's fine.
Paul Bearer. I get him with Brock Lesnar. Doesn't matter. You know what? You know what else is interesting?
I get him with Roman as well, though. So 2-1.
True, but I get him. I was gonna say you actually have another one as well. I have him with Steve Austin.
What?
Yeah.
What? Paul Heyman had to fire some fucking life into that weakness.
No, he had him in the early '90s when Steve Austin was in WCW. He technically didn't have Braun Breaker, so it doesn't technically count. He only had him for one match, so I wouldn't really count that. He had him in the Dangerous Alliance when Paul Heyman was working in WCW as Paul E. Dangerously. He had the Dangerous Alliance that had Rick Rude, Steve Austin in it. Ricardo Rodriguez was not a good manager. I don't think he was ever a good manager. Zeb Coulter, well, I'm glad he's not dead yet.
But to be fair, that's Dutch Mantel, so you know.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not dead yet.
Good guy, rubbish gimmick, and I hope he's doing well.
He's doing well at the moment. He's out of hospital. He is out of hospital because I watch his podcast regularly, so I'm glad to see that he is actually doing really well.
Yeah. So I mean, there's your rosters, people.
You was mad.
What? What have you done? You forgot someone? Are you killing Ric Flair?
No, I'm not.
Bearing in mind, if you don't get rid of Ric Flair, you get a cracking energy drink. From what I've heard, I would never drink it.
I'm not getting rid of Ric Flair at all.
He was a great announcer, yeah. We could be here all night changing the exactly. I'm here like locked in.
I like your
pitch. Like trying to find all the accoutrements. He's trying to find the accoutrements to accompany his lackluster roster.
Not really, because see how you've got the Brood there, and you've already got the Undertaker. You could technically, if you wanted to,
it's like five guest hosts.
No, not for me. The weird thing is, right? You've got Taker and the Brood.
Right.
You could theoretically merge them all into one. Plus increase the size.
I'm not going to.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Theoretically, you could merge Undertaker with the Brood, increase it to get the Ministry, the full Ministry, and that leaves you with another pick to get the Dudleys.
But that would be against the rules because that would be 4 people.
It's a faction. Who cares?
Well, you do.
My rules, I'm allowed to
we outlined at the start that we care about that. No, I'm good. The reason why I
was proposing that is because I would have changed my Ric Flair pick to the 4 Horsemen.
Well, yeah, but no.
Can you eventually do a top 50?
You didn't even pick any of the other horsemen. So why would you want the rest of them? Exactly, Nathan. He's moving these goalposts. I'm here. I'm happy with what I've got. He's trying to offer these weird bargains. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Go away.
You know what's funny? We've both picked a member of the 4 Horsemen. We have. Or do you want me to educate you?
Help.
Let's see if she figures out, guys. I've named a member of the 4 Horsemen.
How have I got one of the horse? The Horsemen? Hang on. No.
You have got a member of the 4 Horsemen. You just haven't figured it out yet.
What?
Would you like me to tell you?
It's gonna be one of these like he was a fucking temporary member for a night.
He was in the Horsemen for quite a while. Would you like me to tell you? Or do you want me to leave it?
Go for it. Let me know what happened. Come on, behave.
Sting was in the Four Horsemen between 1989 and 1990. He got kicked out of the Four Horsemen because he won the chance to fight Flair for the World Championship at the Great American Bash, which he won for the first time. So, for the first of many occasions, Ric Flair and the Horsemen members at the time all turned on Sting and kicked him out. Sting then got injured. Well, he was already injured, but he was carrying an injury. So, Rome off TV, where Sting was supposed to wrestle sooner than that. His title match was extended to the Great American Bash. But in the meantime, Ric Flair wrestled Lex Luger for the World Championship. I'm keeping my picks. I'm happy with my picks. But is there any you would add more tag teams for?
No.
Sting will always be better than John Cena.
No, I'm as I say, I'm really happy with the roster. You know,
Good
the
shout.
one
I'm just
thing
glad
that you
none of us
did-
picked Ultimate. I'm glad none of us picked my grand's favorite wrestler.
the
And
one
was
thing
Ultimate
that you
Warrior.
did was obviously you took Cody, which is fine.
I don't care. I don't even want Cody.
Yeah. No, but it is what it is. You know, you,
Like-
you took Cody. You wanna spite me for spiting you, but I'm cool with it.
I absolutely don't want Cody Rhodes. He was
Well,
just there.
But you've got him now, and your 2010 roster is just not on the
All
level.
established. My
It's just
2010
not,
roster
it's just
dwarfs
not
yours.
on the level. What's the
It's
worst
dwarf-
pay-per-view that you've ever seen? The horror show
WWE
Extreme
Bash.
Rules 2020.
WWE Bash in Berlin and Extreme Rules is joint for me. Just both cynical.
No,
Both
it's
cynical.
the horror show Extreme Rules for WWE, and it's AW.
This year's Money in the Bank was dreadful.
God, they've
That's
had,
in a
they've
top
had a
5.
few absolute fucking stinkers.
If I've got to name, I can name my top 5 worst pay-per-views of all time that I've seen. Right now, I can name my top 5 instantly.
I'm just trying to think of the worst AEW show because it might honestly be All Out this year, but I don't think it is. I think they laid a worse shitter down in 2022.
My top 5 worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. Number 1, ECW Dismember to Dismember, because that was just 2 matches and it was disgusting. Second one is that Extreme Rules match. Then it's Bash in Berlin. Number 4, I honestly agree with you. The All Out, I wasn't a particular fan of All Out, especially after how great All In was. Like All Out it didn't do much for it. And then 5th one is coincidentally WCW Mayhem. Horrible show. Horrible show.
Based on shows that we can talk about, Honor. I think it was Honor Reunited.
Yeah, that's awful.
For
Just
Ring
putting
of
these up
Honor
there.
in
So
Edinburgh. I mean, it was a shockingly bad card.
I'm just putting in Paul Heyman because I forgot your male manager was Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
There we go. To be fair, if you look at it, Paul Heyman says he's the greatest, and Bobby said he was the greatest. So if anything, that's fine. That's a truce.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Bobby Heyman was the greatest heel.
You got to know how close I was to taking Liv
Jim
Morgan's
Cornette.
action.
What, the Scum Club?
Just to piss you off, I was going to take because it was Riot Squad she was in, wasn't it?
Oh, Riot Squad. Yeah, no, Paul Heyman's the second greatest, Nathan.
I was just gonna fuck you off with it. But you know.
That wouldn't have bothered me too much because in that entire faction, the only one I liked was Ruby Riott because she's the only one that can work.
Yeah, but I get Liv Morgan. Like that would be great. But anyway, no, I'm happy with what we've got.
Liv Morgan.
I'm happy that I was able to get. So we missed
Let me
shots
just
to
put-
start again. No, don't trust me. It's good. Right.
I'm just putting in there by taking the Hardys, just in case.
Let's
anyone was
have a
buying extra.
little chat then.
There is actually
Saturday
one.
night's main event. What do you think of it?
It was just a glorified indie show. Not indie show, glorified house show that made no interest. And the biggest. There's something about Triple H that needs to be asked of here, right? And I just want to get people's opinion. That's because you're completely biased, Nathan. Shut up. That's why you're not on my podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding, dude. If you thought Ailey wins, I'm alright with that. Saturday night's main event genuinely was a disgrace. Saturday night's main event was a disgrace because it showed once again why Triple H is a bad booker. There was no interest in title changes apart from Chelsea Green, because obviously that was going to happen. All the matches were predictable. The guy, some of them, maybe, depends.
Perhaps.
It was predictable match booking.
Mhm.
The biggest swerve of the show was done for social media views, which is pathetic. And there was no interest. There was no. Gunther's still world champion. Cody Rhodes is still WWE champion.
Okay.
You could have changed one of those, and instead, after the show, you have Kevin Owens finally did the package pile driver for a social media grab. You should have done it whilst the show was on live. You would have got a much better reaction. It was boring and predictable, really poor.
No,
And I feel sorry for it. I hope the next one's better.
It's
I hope the
valid
next
to say
one's
that it's
better.
predictable. I would not call that wrestling card boring.
Well, it was boring. It was sadly boring.
United 2-0 down.
See, this is why I knew I wasn't going to watch the Tottenham game.
Oh gosh.
You can see things before they happen.
Yeah, I don't think Saturday night's main event was boring. I think predictable.
Too many long intro.
Fair, but
many long intro stuff as well. I don't like what they did with Jesse Ventura as well. He should have been on commentary for the whole show.
then
He's
again,
a proper
if
heel
he's
commentator.
asked to only do the main event, the only good match on Saturday night's main event was Triple Threat for me. That's fair. I enjoyed the whole card. I actually did. I actually liked the match.
I did try to like it. I did physically try.
Yeah, I mean, because if I'm just trying to remember the whole card, which is kind of bad. But
so the WWE title main event was Rhodes versus Kevin Owens when Cody Rhodes acted like a heel and won like a heel. Number 2,
That was good, I thought, because we're teasing this and we're ramping it up, we're setting it up. Cody has finally had enough. We've planted the seed for a heel turn, and it could be that he loses the belt through this injury and then comes back as a heel to sort of reclaim it.
He's definitely coming back as a heel, and it might make him interesting. We'll see.
It's going to be a lot of fun. AEW showing the brawl out was the most embarrassing moment of the year. Good point. It was the biggest own goal that they could possibly have scored.
It is one of the moments of sheer stupidity. Yeah, I agree.
Wait, did Tony Khan get attacked this year? Because I would.
Yeah, he took the.
Yeah, I would put that as like the most embarrassing thing because
that pile driver tag finish thing that he took.
It's literally not even. It's not even mattered. There's now a different group destroying AEW, like to show just how shit a booker he is. He couldn't make something out of the guys that attacked him, and like not just attacked him, like punched him. Like it was supposed to be like a broken neck angle sort of thing. And he couldn't do anything with it because the guys that he's working with don't want the best for him. They want the money, and that's it. And that's why there's now a different faction slowly riding, pardon the pun, AEW to complete death. But we can talk about that in a moment. As for Saturday night's main event, I really liked the Cody Rhodes match. I think Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, it was always going to be a good match. The triple threat, as Nathan's pointed out, definitely the best match of the night, but I don't think it was the only good one. I thought Chelsea Green and Michin were actually
that was rushed.
But it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that they rushed a lot of the matches because of the stupid over the top intro videos they were doing. That really slowed all.
I quite liked it, especially because this wasn't a thing that was a pay-per-view.
It's not a pay-per-view, but they treat it like a pay-per-view. And if you're going to treat it like a
pay-per-view... It was free.
Yeah, they still treat it like a pay-per-view. That's the problem, the way they booked it. The problem
was a special show. And when you compare it to something like, what was it called? Smackville. Or when WWE did Starrcade in 2017, and one of the matches on the card was Dustin Rhodes versus Dash Wilder. It was a lot better than that.
They should never have even bothered to do the bloody Starrcade thing. It wasn't theirs to begin with.
Before I finished.
The thing is, see the matches. It's because you do all those video packages and you make them too long that the talent have to rush their finishes. That Chelsea Green Unprettier from the turnbuckle. Done well, that finish is rushed, and it's a shame. It's rushed.
Nathan's
That's the
asking
problem.
about match of the year. I think bringing
Not
up
there
Partners
yet.
Through is a good shout. I have a late contender. It's a very late contender. But I absolutely adored the women's deadline match.
Well, the Iron Survivor.
Yeah. Zarya, Ren Sinclair, Julia,
I hate they changed her
Stephanie
name.
Becker,
I hate they changed her name.
the fifth one.
Why would you change her name from Delta to Zarya? Everyone
Why
already
don't I
knew her
remember
as
the fifth
Delta.
one?
Because it was some fucking random that nobody knows.
Well, I remembered Ren Sinclair. Surely that's the one I would forget. Who the fuck is it?
It wasn't Cora Jade, was it? I haven't watched.
Solruka.
Oh, is that the chick who likes to over the top her diving move? Yeah.
That's the surfer that hits the fucking sick finisher.
She needs to be told to tone down a little bit because she's gonna end up hurt. Some of her stuff, yeah, she needs to, or she's gonna.
But her matches are 8 minutes, not 28. So, like,
even so, she's doing a double leap, like a double springboard, double leap, buckshot ladder. If she lands that wrong, she's
a surfer and a gymnast, and like I say, she's doing it like on a full tank. It's not like when Will Ospreay busts it out 25 minutes into another instant classic.
He's got a mental tank as well. He has got a mental tank though. I think she needs to just be a little bit more careful. She seems to have good talent though. That Jada Parker's good.
Yeah. But I really like the deadline match. I was genuinely, when you talk about like edge of your seat, like, you know, I loved both deadline matches. I felt that the way that they did the Demi thing was maybe a bit predictable.
The men's one he got a lot of abuse on social media, and so for the men's side, that match got a lot of abuse. Apparently, the crowd was really shit after that because of that. The crowd were like, "Fuck this," which I'm not surprised because they want Wesley to win.
It's a tough one because obviously the way that they booked it, Ava picked a replacement, but that replacement shouldn't have been the fifth entrant.
Should have been first.
Yeah, Femi should have done the match because the problem is like you had a little bit. It did have a slight Brock Lesnar vibe to it, and we didn't want it to have that, but it did. Sort of like turning up to a match that you're not invited to, kind of thing.
And it's a shame,
but the women's match didn't have that, and it was really good. And what I really like about the Iron Survivor is I barely had a clue who Ren Sinclair was. But the fact that she'd been bodied by, like, she'd been pinned 3 times in the match. When she came out the penalty box, I was like, "Go on, get a fall!"
Yeah, I've seen this.
And she got the cover. I was like, "Yeah, go on, you did it!" You know, like.
And she gets back in the ring and she gets that Sol Ruka cutter thing, and I burst out laughing. I was like, "Yeah, she's buried."
It builds stories, it builds characters. It's really cool. I really.
You're not really doing. You're not built. To be fair, that Paul in there, you're not really building a story. You're not really. Not really.
You're building multiple stories because Ren Sinclair's shown that she's very resilient, and therefore, like, you sort of what they're doing with that is they're going, okay, she's one to watch, you know, like, because we wouldn't give her a fall in this match if she wasn't.
Yeah, what you're getting after that?
It's like
it's not. I would say right now you're building to it. I would say you're going to escalate it.
Entered Iron Survivor last year as an underdog, got a fall, maybe 2, but I think it was only 1. And then she was the first women's North American champion after that. So, you know, like, it's clearly like a proving ground for these women, and it's good. And Sol Ruka was good, and obviously Stephanie Becker was brilliant. Julia was brilliant.
She was the only one that
came out was the right way. Really good as well. So I was impressed.
She's the only one that came out in the right way. Stephanie Becker.
Deadline's a late contender for show of the year for me. I genuinely. I don't remember enjoying a night of wrestling that much sort of throughout since WrestleMania night 2.
I probably have on 2 separate occasions, but I see what you mean. I don't know. I haven't. Well, we can do that after. We can probably do that after Christmas. We can probably do like a type of awards type show for the year, something like that. We can do that. If you guys want to join us for that, feel free.
Yeah. So we'll do match of the year, we'll do show of the year. We'll obviously do the worsts because If I don't hate on AEW in every show, I actually melt. So we've covered our quota for this one because AEW is a mess right now. It's just a complete mess. This Death Rider stuff is not working.
I think once you get out of World's End, if they're right and they put the world title on Jay White, you've got something. To be fair,
Moxley's retaining or Hangman's winning.
I don't think either of them walks out the champion regardless, though, if either of them win. Because I think the minute that bell ends, if
Christian.
Yeah. And I actually wouldn't be against that at all. I think it's a smart
No,
choice.
because knowing Tony, Nick Wayne's going to stop Christian for some reason.
Probably because Christian hasn't fucked his
And
mum
it'll
yet.
be like they'll gimmick someone up and they'll go like, it's Nick Wayne's father-in-law and he's coming to save him from Christian. It's like that was a world title angle right there that you've just ruined with that, Tony.
I hope throughout the year, if they're smart, because he's not back until January. But you look at next year, theoretically, you still have Copeland coming back as well. Put him in the main event scene where he should be. But you've still got Copeland. I know, he's still got him there. You've got Christian Terms like your top heel. You've still got Jay White.
The new upcoming star, Christian.
There's no one they have that's a better heel than him. That gets it. That actually gets being a heel. Like Jay White, to be fair, did for a degree in New Japan, but it's different. But like, you've got him there who Hangman as well to a degree. You've got to work
they
around
would say
it.
MJF. You know how I feel about that.
MJF he's just there. He's like
a panderer. He's a panderer.
No, he's like just taking a shit and you've just left it there and you just don't want to flush the toilet.
No, but like I've said before and like I always say about him, he just panders. This is what I'll say to get this pop. It's not even clever.
Right, if it was up to me,
I honestly think that it's put WWE off him because it's like, oh, you can't like tell a story. You've just got to say nasty things.
I think as well that's what's going to put WWE off Ray Phoenix. I think they'll be fine with Pentagon Jr. if they make him a heel. Like, theoretically, he should walk onto Raw and break Rey Mysterio's arm as a heel. He should. You can moan all you want, but it's not about taking out Ray or whatever. It's about being smart. If you just stick him in the LWO verse, then Triple H.
But you can't have him come on and break Rey Mysterio's arm because Ray would have to get even. He's got to start with a feud that he'll actually win. He would
win that feud. Ray would put him over.
People didn't like it at the time, but you've got to applaud Triple H's booking of the Wyatt Six. He booked them in a feud he booked them in a feud first that they would win, so that way you would care. Unlike Tony, who gets a new toy, puts him in this new tournament, and we see them all get beat.
The only thing
because Tony's so insistent on having a G1 when he's got like not enough talent to do it.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any need for it. But I'll say this as well. You can say about the praise about the Wyatt Six, but the Wyatt Six is no longer an interesting faction. Like, they've lost their spark.
They're interesting because of the way that they work. They can be interesting at any point. They just have to target someone. They could go away for 6 months, come back, attack someone, and it would be the most watched thing on that Raw. Especially if it was someone like Seth Rollins or CM Punk or even a Rey Mysterio. Although, to be fair, the Wyatt Six are face. So if they attack Drew McIntyre, it would be the most watched thing. I know you're booking of the Wyatt Six. No, what I'm saying is the original introduction of the Wyatt Six was great because they put them in a feud that they could not lose, and then they did not lose it. Unlike Tony Khan, who takes his new toys like Ricochet and puts them in tournaments where they're going to be beat because Ricochet's not winning a world title shot. He's just not. It's not happening.
It is bad for literally both companies this year. When you look at both companies this year have overdone tournaments. Like they've overdone tournaments this year when we didn't need it. They've done too many each,
Which
regardless.
tournament? Because if you're talking about WWE with these two like mid-card women's titles, I'm cool
Not
with
just
it
them.
if the way that they're doing this is that there's no longer women's tag team championships once Bianca and Jade have their thing,
We
then
assume.
I'm cool with it. In terms of other tournaments, have there been that many? Obviously, they did the 2 triple threats for SmackDown, for the tag thing where NCNG won the belts. They had to win a triple threat, but that's more been the way that they've done it. It's been through triple threat and then singles match, and that's been the way that they've done it for a bit. I mean, even if you go back to sort of early Triple H booking
It's
Raw,
still over.
and
It's still
it was-
overdoing it, and it's same. To be fair, it's the same with the whole eliminator stuff as well. I don't think we need eliminator matches anymore. They don't make sense. If you're gonna have a number 1 contender for a title, then just have a number 1 contenders match. I don't like that in any promotion these days where you don't get it as much anymore.
Yeah, but Catherine, I don't think the booking of the Wyatt Six has been horrible. I think
it's
they're
starting.
they're the sort of people, like I've said, they're the sort of team that can go away and they're babyface. They're rather explicitly babyface because they attacked American Made and they attacked Final Testament, 2 teams that we're absolutely encouraged to boo. So the Wyatt Six are face. And it means that if, say, Judgment Day step out of line again, and the Wyatt Six attack Judgment Day, that will get huge pops because people like the Wyatt Six.
The problem is you've already proven the issue of them being a face. You've already proven the issue of them being a face.
How?
A babyface faction shouldn't be going out and attacking the heels. It should be the other way around.
No, because it's a different approach. They're not. It's not that they're fake. It's not that they're face in like typical crowd sense. They are like justice. They are fighting an injustice, and that's been their whole thing. They've been fighting injustice.
I just think it won't.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go after the New Day.
They probably will. I just think in the long term, I just don't think it's going to work. I think the presentation is good. The problem is, it's just dropped off. It's just dropped off. And it's
they're that sort of thing. And when you've got every other story going and going and going, you can't have every pot of pasta on boil the whole time.
They seem to be trying that, and it's not working.
And the Wyatt Six one is currently simmering. But I think there will be something that will happen. Will it be Judgment Day? Will it be New Day? Whoever it's going to be, the Wyatt Six will go after them, and it will be interesting and entertaining to watch. And at the same time, on Raw, you're going to have, obviously, all the stuff that's currently going. So you're going to have Seth, you're going to have Punk, you're going to have Drew. Obviously, I don't think, maybe it's not all going to be on Raw, because obviously the Netflix split and the transfer window and stuff like that. But the Wyatt Six don't need to be. This was what they got wrong with the late, great Bray Wyatt. He always had to be having a story. He always had to be involved in something. It couldn't be that he could do something, go away for 6 months, come back, and you get that shock factor again. And it's like if you watch a horror movie, and I don't tend to, but it's like if you watch a horror movie and you get the first jump scare like 30 minutes in. Or you get a jump scare at the start, and then 30 minutes later you get a jump scare. Well, you'd settled back down. And then another 30 minutes and you get another jump scare, you'd settle back down. Whereas what they started doing with The Fiend, because they put the belt on him, he had to be on the show every week. He had to be involved every week. He had to be cutting a promo at Firefly Funhouse every single week. As a result, it was like a horror movie, but where you were getting a jump scare every 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, and this is where talent can lose their appeal. And unfortunately, the biggest thing as well in the loss of Bray Wyatt is they just never understood his creative dynamic. Ever.
Yeah.
No, I think they ever understood his creative dynamic. It's the same with, ironically, when I said earlier on about Taker being not being a draw. I'm not saying Taker wasn't a draw, period. But Taker's best period of his gimmick, where his gimmick was pure, he wasn't viewed as a draw. He was just viewed as the talent that you fed all the giants to, and that was the original version of the gimmick and the character. That period where he was just pure haunting the character development, he morphed it to become a draw by changing what the original was. The original is considered the greatest version because it haunted the shit out of people, and you knew when to sporadically use them. That's why, like, great people we haven't mentioned, like Jake the Snake Roberts, another great creative mind.
It's another
stemmed
ball
from
that
there.
dropped with Alistair Black, because they easily could have done the same thing with him. Like,
To a degree, on both fronts,
every 3 to 6 months, I'm just going to pick someone, and they're just going to be my opponent, and I'm going to deal with them, and then I'm going to move on to next. And it's like, do you want like championships, Alistair? And you could go, no, just want to kick people's heads in.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you on that one. That's the hard thing. It's the same with It's why Vince really struggled with some of Foley's character work. Like, he should never, like, Mick Foley's greatest work.
Because when
as
someone
Mankind,
gets
he should never have
popular,
fumbled.
they've got to win the belt, and that was the problem.
Shouldn't always win it.
No.
Shouldn't always have to be contending for a title as well. Like, when, like, Mick Foley theoretically should have won the title once, and he should have won it against Michaels in '96. Because that's when his character work with Taker made more sense. Because then you can add all the gimmick matches to them. You end the feud done and dusty. Mick Foley stays champion, then he'd lose it to, again, HBK or Brett or Psycho.
He has to win the one on Raw, otherwise Tony Schiavone doesn't say the stupid thing. So he's got to win that one on Raw.
To be fair, that is Eric Bischoff's fault as well. He told him to say all that shit as well. Annoyingly, that's a problem commentators did have at times. You're being fed nonsense. No need. He's already a great established commentator by that point. There was no need to tell him to switch the channel to watch Mankind beating them.
I want him to use it again. I want him to be talking about something that's happening on Dynamite. And he goes like, well, like, imagine he's like promoting World's End. And he's like, we've got a fatal 4-way for the world title. And Excalibur goes through it all. And then Toshi Burgess goes, that'll put butts in seats. Like, I want him to use it again. 100%.
I don't think he will.
It foretells the death of a company. So he's going to have to say it before it dies. And the way it's looking... Well, AEW won't die because they're funded by a basically private fund. But they are not going to grow from here. There is no resurgence. This is dead water.
The mad thing is anything, weirdly enough, is possible in this crazy-ass business. It wouldn't surprise me if something
What could
changed.
happen for AEW where they get back to 1 million?
I think the obsession people have over the million is...
No, but it's an indication. It's an indication of success. And it's an indication that they've lost success. Bearing in mind, at this time of year, the last 3 years, they've been up at 800,000. Their program is currently struggling to get to 600,000. Whether you like to talk about ratings or not,
that is a waste of my time.
Things are not going well.
That's true. But I also think the difference as well is what I'm seeing is people are... I'm going to use another one, just a fair context, where people are saying Shawn Michaels is cooking with NXT. Now, is he?
Yeah.
No.
I would say so.
I don't think he is. I think the best thing that he's got, and he's a great mind for direction and booking, and this is what I like about Shawn Michaels. But I think the enjoyment that they're getting right now is not purely from the NXT side. It's the fact that finally, for a change, because they weren't doing it for so long, and I'd love to know why, because I think they're all stupid, is you've finally got the main roster fans, not as much as maybe they should, but they are checking out the elements of NXT, which is allowing NXT to flourish in that way. So it's not more of just about Shawn Michaels. He's doing what he can as well to show himself strongly.
Yeah, but then you've got to give credit to someone else you don't like, because you'd have to give credit to Triple H for allowing, like, for working with Shawn Michaels and allowing this interplay that's working so well.
Some of that I do, yeah. There's one thing that Shawn Michaels frankly does well that Triple H does not, and this is something that he really needs to learn. And if he does, then great. If he doesn't, then whatever. Shawn Michaels at least knows when to kill a rivalry or a feud, and he knows when to kill at the right time, and he knows when to move on. Triple H consistently hasn't done that.
No, but the thing is, so
And that is a worry for me. It's a worry for me.
Triple H has more of a stake with the TKO guys, though. And obviously, the TKO guys are the guys that run the UFC.
Power on their board.
They're not giving away UFC fights, marquee UFC fights, sort of deeper issue UFC fights. They don't give them away on house shows in Brazil. They wait for the numbered UFC events. And I think that, while I agree with you, it's one of those things that I don't think Triple H can fix. I don't think it's something he can do much about. I think the Raw on January 6th is going to be quite telling, because we'll see what this new Netflix stuff looks like, but we'll also
he needs to finally somehow, because it's gone on long enough, he needs to end this ridiculous, stupid need to constantly have either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn embroiled with this whole stupid bloodline faction. There's a time and a place where they
do
need to
that
be
when they
and
end bloodline factions, and they will end bloodline factions. But we've got to get to April for that. Because, like I said, they're not going to give it away on Fastlane or Elimination Chamber. Even
now, you say we need to get to Mania,
mm-hmm.
but even after that, we know this. They'll just find a way to keep going. And that's my biggest worry. They will just find ways to keep going, and I think that's troubling.
I think the stakes will be that the loser is like banished, but like the losing faction. And I think you're honestly, because of how deep that this thing got, I think following WrestleMania, you're going to have a big it's going to be like a ceremony. It'll be a main event. It'll be a main event ceremony. The return of Drew was apparently because Bronson's injury. Yeah, but I mean, Edge broke his foot jumping. Sorry, Adam Copeland broke his foot jumping off a cage. So why the hell would you do the same thing? It's stupid. It's just stupid. I have no sympathy for him. I have no sympathy for Bronson Reed at all. Because he caused it, quite frankly. See you later, the guy.
See you later.
We're wrapping up soon anyway. But yeah, as far as the Bloodline thing, I think they're gonna have like after Mania, it'll be like there'll be like a main event ceremony thing, where like Roman can kick them out the Bloodline, sort of thing, and it'll probably be like a big.
I just have no time or place or energy for this absolute rubbish faction anymore.
No, but we're almost there, and
it was a fucking. I was celebrating.
Yeah, but now you know how I felt about like Brock. I had no time for Brock Lesnar at any point. But basically, as we got towards the end of the 2010s and got into the 2020s, I was like, look, he can't be champion forever. This can't go on forever.
Oh, absolutely.
So it eventually stops, and with Bloodline, it will eventually stop. And I think it's going to be WrestleMania. They could surprise us. They could do the deciding match on Raw at the start of the year and basically go, look, clean slate, no Bloodline, no more. We're sorted. I don't think they're doing that because I think they've got so much energy in this Roman and Solo stuff. Obviously, you got The Rock if he wants.
I don't think he. See, the thing is, people are saying that. Like, first of all, I'm sick of people saying it's cinema, but the thing is, and this is the funny thing, people are assuming that we need Rock versus Roman for this. We actually don't. Let's be real. If you want to end this once and for all, there is only one match to end it with. It was the match that started it all. The match that started the faction should be the match that ends the faction once and for all.
So Roman Reigns should fight Jey Uso?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No interference.
Roman's face.
Exactly.
So it's kind of tough to.
They had the perfect moment at the clown show that they did in Saudi when I said that Jey Uso should have super kicked Roman and left. We don't need Brock versus Roman. As much as I would like to see The Rock compete one last time, we don't need Rock versus Roman. Solo, to a degree, he needs to end his wasted feud anyway because he is really boring. He's got no talent.
He's a bit better now that he's decided to like actually talk instead of being this silent, like brooding menace.
They need to figure out what to do with
Jacob.
Jacob.
Swagger and a bit of character about him now.
It's
But this creatively bankrupt bloodline story will never end. Well, it physically has to end, but also I think we're getting there because Roman will have to do different things. Quite what they do after it, I don't know. This has been a problem for a long time, but Roman will have to get back to winning a title.
He should never be champion again. He should never be champion again.
If the story calls for it.
There is no story though for him. It's just people want him because they can't get over it.
Story they could aim to tell. What if we get like a ridiculously over the top heel Seth Rollins on top of the company for long enough that Roman Reigns steps in, and we get like a sort of, you know, we're all of a sudden rooting for the bad guy that we were hating on before. There's so many ways that WWE could go about it. Whereas AEW's way of doing it is to do a jump start at the bell and a near murder angle after the bell. And that's been their way. It's going to continue to be their way as long as this Death Rider stuff's going on. The Bloodline stuff's been going on for over 3 years, and it's still not as dull as the Death Rider stuff, which is just the same thing, the same guys, the same this, the same that.
Even though for a fact, and you've agreed with this before, the Bloodline was stale for 10 months.
There was a period in the middle where it was fairly stale, yeah, but that's because Roman Reigns was getting, you know, illegitimate wins. At the same time, I would say that at the same time, the booking there wasn't fully Triple H's yet.
Once people wake up and realize that his title run was fraudulent anyway, it's fine.
Nathan's saying Roman wins the Rumble. It's an option. I still think they're going with whichever one of Seth or Punk isn't winning the belt. I still think they're building Seth and Punk through the Rumble, and John Cena's winning the Elimination Chamber.
He probably will, yeah. He should win the Chamber and still lose at Mania.
Well, Cena could win the Chamber, and it depends, because it depends if you want it to be like Cody's a fighting champion and he'll defend at the Elimination Chamber. You could have Cena pin Cody, especially since Cody might be coming back as a heel. You could have Cena pin Cody at the Elimination Chamber, and then they do the rematch at WrestleMania. There's so many different ways that WWE can take things.
I don't know what they're going to do. Just one thing I'm hoping to do is just make it interesting.
I'm sure it will be. Interesting. And anyway, well, I hope that we've made your Thursday night interesting anyway, people. It's time to wrap things up. But,
it is.
You know, stay tuned, keep an eye out. We'll have another show soon enough, I'm sure. We'll just see what this calendar's doing. And obviously, that's Evie falling twice.
I mean, I've got we do have the World's End stuff too. We've got another few things. Christmassy type show, probably. We'll see what we can film with you guys.
This could be the last time that, well, certainly that I speak to these people before Christmas. So everyone, enjoy the festive period. If you celebrate, have a Merry Christmas. If I don't see you before the new year, then I will see you in 2025. I imagine you'll be hearing from me again before the actual new year itself, though. But yeah, if it's the last time you hear me before Christmas, then have a good one. Same to you, co-host, even if you're wrong.
Not usually.
But yeah, have a good one, everyone. I'm gonna check out just now, but I will catch you later.
Have a good one. So there's my co-host. It has been a really good show. Lots of fun. Like I say, we're just gonna have a bit of fun tonight. But we are going to do some shows before Christmas. We're going to do some shows after Christmas. New format for 2025. when I move on to gaming PC. It will no longer be on this laptop, so there'll be a new show design, all of that stuff. But to everyone that's watched, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. If you want to join our shows going forward, let me know. Anyone is welcome. But like Catherine, the guy, Nathan, Rach as well was in here earlier on. Martin, good to see you, my man. Kaz as well, class as always. Abul, like some great comments tonight. Thank you so much, folks. But in the meantime, we're gonna get out here. Well, I am anyway, because Eilidh's already away. But I'll see you. I'll do a gaming stream on. Did I do a gaming stream on Saturday? I'll do a gaming stream on Saturday and Sunday, which gives me Monday and Tuesday off, and then we'll come back on the Friday, the 27th. We'll do a bit of World's End for the 28th, and then that'll be it for the new year. So the new format will be in the new year. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Stay safe. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out Nathan's podcast as well, the Balls Out podcast for football as well. Check that out. And Catherine, the Mid podcast. Check that out. Mid Wrestling podcast. But in the meantime, see you later, guys, and bye-bye.